Hello there, and thanks once again for joining us on your number one TV show, Game Plan. I'm Charles, legendary CNN Mabika. Are you counting? Are you counting? 25 days. 25 days to go, yes, before the Africa Cup of Nations Finals tournament kicks off in Morocco. And yes, our number one team, the Warriors, our beloved Warriors, will be in in one of those groups, Group B, yes, where we are coupled together or put together, strewn together with Bafana of South Africa, the Pharaohs of Egypt, and of course Angola. Right. And how we're going to go. We hope that we will reach for the first time the next stage. Right. What we are talking about this week, of course, we'll be talking about the Warriors, obviously, a little bit later. But we want to talk about, we'll start talking about the Premiership. Whilst we say bravo to Mapeza Scotland for winning the league title in their first year in the top flight, we also said adios, amigo, to 4 teams. That's the Gold Boys, Kwekwe United, the Miracle Boys, Yadah, the Lithium Boys, Bikita Minerals, and of course, Boys Denaro, Greenfuel. So 4 teams got relegated, and we feel sad. But we hope that they'll be back, all of them. We hope that they'll be back in 2027. And of course, we're welcoming 4 teams from Division 1 who have come to replace them. We'll be talking more about that later. And we are also talking about the Soccer Stars of the Year, the finalists who were chosen earlier this week by a panel of selectors, journalists, coaches alike, putting together 11 names. We want to ask you, do you agree with those selected for 2025? And what the heck is happening in as far as consistency is concerned? We've noticed the last 2 decades, players just come, appear once on the Soccer Stars of the Year finalist list, and you don't see them. From then, they just go. And some, once, they jump once. And what is happening in terms of consistency? Because only 3 from 2024 retained their places in 2025. And the other 8, gone with the wind. Yes, Gone with the Wind. That great movie, rated by many as the greatest movie in Hollywood film history. Gone with the Wind. 8 guys from last year gone. Right, okay. And to help us look more into these topics that we are scrutinizing on your number one TV show, let's say hello. Well, I'll tell you that both of them are not very happy. They still, maybe better, but they were not happy just the other night because both of them are staunch Manchester United supporters. Team here yakatadza kurova Everton yanga ine 10. Right, let's say hello to the man we call Sparrow. He is Spencer Nyamadzao. Sparrow, I know, but hey, whew, what happened? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, legendary CNN. A tough one to take. I think we're prepared to play the game against 11 players. So when one came out, we couldn't.
You couldn't.
We couldn't take one. So our strategy was to play with 11.
That's a good excuse. All right, you had that excuse from Sparrow. And yes, sitting alongside Sparrow, another disappointed Manchester United supporter, although his local team, Dinamo Dimbare, managed to survive relegation. So 50% happy, 50% sad. We used to call him Chief. We still call him Chief. Let's say hello to Chief Justice Majavi.
Thank you, legendary. You know, I think it's not 50-50. You know,
it's not
the most
50-50.
important one was the survival.
Okay.
Yeah, the
All right.
survival was more important. I know Manchester United will recover.
They will recover.
Yeah, the season is still it's a long way to go. There are still so many games. Just after Christmas, you see the turnarounds. Yeah, of course, we will definitely be. But the survival was more important. You know, scary in the last day. I think you can agree with me as well. The last day was really horrific. Oh, by the way, I was seated with you. You know, you saw what Edward was doing.
Oh,
Sadoma,
hey!
Yeah.
We were sitting with the Duduza. You know, I was there as well. You know, so Chief Justice was there, and I was there. You know, once the game was happening, and akomana ndakanzwa nekukikwa from both sides. You know, Chief Justice, Diamonds, don't go and kick. Duduza at one time, he threw up. Not throwing up. He threw his phone in the air and almost, crashed. But those guys were so. But Duduza and Chief Justice were happy. Right. So this is how they finished. I'm talking about the Premiership. Let's see how they finished. And of course, Mapeza, bravo, Scotland, busting the 41-year record of Black Rhinos, or should I say, emulating that feat that was done by Black Rhinos back in 1984, and they did it. And their coach, head coach, Stanza, Tonderai Ndiraya, also making a piece of history himself. Do you know that he's the only man in Zimbabwe football history to grab 2 titles with 2 different teams in consecutive years? Right. He's the only one. Hey, last year he won it with Zimbabwe, and this year he's won it with Scotland. And, Sparrow, bravo to Mapeza for emulating and emulating that 41-year record that it stood, set up by Chauya Chipembere long time ago.
Very credit to Scotland. I mean, the amount of investment they put in this project and reaping the rewards speaks of volumes that if you put in the investment, you will get the rewards. And I think Honorable Sarpanya and his team at Scotland really took the game to another level and straight from Northern Region Division 1 to emulate what Black Rhinos did. And that Black Rhinos team, it had household names.
Oh, yeah.
And for Scotland, they went on to also get some household names. I mean, your Knowledge Msona, your Kama Billet, your Timon Machope, your Walter Msona, your God Knows Murua, your Pumbi Zais. I mean, they deserve to win this. I mean, they invested so much, and they're just reaping the rewards of the investment. And credit to Scotland for a great season.
That's right. But do you know what? I'm talking about that game that we watched on Sunday at Rufaro Dynamos and FC Platinum, where Dynamo survived. And the Honorable Pedisai Scott Sakupkanya, he was there as well. As he walked up the ramp, going to take his seat, I greeted him there, and he said, "Oh, legendary." And I said, "Oh, congratulations, Honorable MP." And he said, "Well, thank you so much, legendary. Thanks, but gore next year kuninge kwakapenga." And I said, "Why?" So I said, well, that's what it is. You know, he really had me laughing. But Chief Justice, we're just seeing a very strange thing, a coincidental, if you want. I don't know if you had noticed this. The teams that were number 1 and number 2 last year in the Northern Region Division 1. Yes, guess what? They are the same teams who were number 1 and number 2 in the Premiership this season. Funny, Chief Justice.
Yeah, they came in with a certain mindset, and the mindset.
As we see there, Chief Justice, and Scotland and Moors.
Yeah,
that's what it was last year in the Division 1 Northern Region.
That should be the bar. At least these teams were very competitive. I think we all watched many games. They were very competitive, and they showed the zeal to win, and also the consistency in them. It was more of an edge over other teams. You know, they brought something, and it was a wake-up call to other teams who have been prominent enough in this league. If you see the Dynamos, Highlanders, and Cape United, they failed to maintain that level because of inconsistency. Those teams, they capitalize on what they have, the investment, and they set the bar. This is the level of the football we should be going. We should be emulating them. We should be going there. But they did very well also in Scotland by breaking the record. after, from Black Rhinos a long time ago. I think that's the year I was born. Yeah. So it's for me. I think the coming to the next season, teams should start from there. Yeah, not beyond. You know, that shows, because Division 1 teams, they came in this year. They came and also same stages. You know, they're now number 1 and number 2. Last year is number 1 and number 2 as well. So it means that bar for the Premier League is now set. Yeah. So any other team which is coming to become a champion or a champion in the Premier League should emulate the two teams and go further where they've reached.
That's right.
And I think they did very well. Also, Moss did very well, despite they lost some form during the season. It was there and there, but they were not that bad throughout the season. They were very competitive. So it was a team to first half of the season undefeated, and it showed there's something better which has come into football. Especially this is for me, it's flashy Scotland. You know, big names like Sparrow said. You know, all that. You know, they showed. They came in. They showed. And one thing I'm happy about it is the boys who came in to join Scotland. They responded. They showed their whatever they learned. The level knowledge played. He brought it back. The level Kama played. He brought it back and showed in some youngsters what to do, and they excelled. And
That's
also
right.
happy for Tondera and Diraya. You know, it's a milestone, considering where he came from. You know, back-to-back win the championship. It was really good.
Right, really good, and Mapeza, the champions once again, Makorokoto Amplope. Right, we're just going away for a teeny weeny bit. When we come back, we'll be looking more and more, but this time the sad part, the adios amigo that we waved to 4 teams. So don't go away, we'll be right back. Thanks for sticking around. Of course, you have to. This is your number 1 TV show, Game Plan, where we talk about nothing else but your number 1 game. Right. We're still talking about the Premiership, and we did talk about Mapeza and that record emulating Black Rhinos, 41 years it had stood. And of course, congratulations as well to the Panthers Moors. And number 3, Chinuchedu, that's Simba Bora, of course, who won it last year. But the sad part is the other end of the table, where we waved goodbye to the Gold Boys, Kwekwe United, the Miracle Boys, Yadah, the Lithium Boys, Bikita Minerals, and Boys Denaro, that's Greenfuel. They have been relegated to Division 1. And what a sad side it was. Greenfuel were leading 1-0 in Chisumbanje at their own favorite Greenfuel arena. They were playing against relegation candidates, Triangle, and it looked so good. If they had hung on, they would then have doomed Triangle into Division 1. But Triangle, towards the end of the match, they got the equalizer, and that one was enough to keep them afloat. And thanks to the shrewd guidance of Kaka Genesis Mangombe, who took over Triangle after Luke Masomere Vahombe had departed and did turn things around. Right, very sad it was, Sparrow, to see those 4 going down.
Well, it's always sad, I mean, when a team is relegated, but I guess it is what it is, and it's football, especially for Bikita Minerals and as well as Greenfuel, the investment they'd put in their project. And
but see how close they were, Sparrow.
I mean,
very tight, eh?
It was a tight season, and I mean, like we're talking off air, we're saying this year, going into the last game, 7 of these teams could have been relegated from
8 actually.
Eight,
Yeah.
actually, from number 10 going downwards. All
right.
those teams would have got relegated, but it's one season we'll live to remember for years and years. I think it's really took a lot of teams by surprise. Our traditional giants, your Highlanders, Dynamos, Caps United, had to survive. Dynamos and Highlanders had to survive on the last day. Caps United on the second last week of the season. So really, it was a tough season and one to remember.
You know, it was so tough for the Dynamo's fans on Sunday against FC Platinum. It was a game that they needed to win, or at least they ended up drawing. And what a huge sigh of relief after the referee blew the final whistle. And one of those to give a huge sigh of relief is a man seated beside me, Chief Justice. Wow, so close.
Yeah, you know, you are playing against AFC Platinum. You know, a better part of the game, you don't get the ball.
Yeah.
They'll keep the ball, and of course, you know, I think it's only that Platinum suffered in the second half of the season in terms of scoring when Tando left. But if it was maybe in the first half of the season, with that type of a play they brought it to Rufaro Stadium, I think they could have got some goals. Yeah, but they were not really lethal in front of goal. They didn't get enough of those pinching chances.
It was a big miss, Tandongwenya.
Yeah, very big.
Going
That's
from
their
FC
downfall.
Platinum. Huh?
That's their downfall. If you look at their games, especially after Tando went, you know, their games, a lot of 0-0s, a lot of 1-1. But before, when he was there, you find there are also 2-0s, 1-0 from Tando, you know. But what a game it was. I also liked the Dynamos. They played very well, especially the defense. The goalkeeper was good. And taking into account, you know, I liked the Tafere Mutsa's performance. You know, he kept Dynamos into the game in so many games. Yeah, better part of the season, he was there. And also credit to the coach, Kevin Kaindo. You know, he brought some different dimension in terms of approach from the players. You know, some gained the confidence. You know, they could look at the gap. They managed to cover. You know, at some point I still remember we were calculating there were 11 points behind number 3 from the bottom, and Dynamos was second from the bottom. And you find that gap. You know, they covered so well. And this coach, you know, he brought in something into the camp. You know, we credit to him, you know, for Dynamo surviving. He says, for me, I say Dynamos achieved. You know, they achieved because they were as good as relegated. Yeah, you know. So and I think this season is not something to repeat. You know, Islanders as well, they suffered a lot in this. So they need to raise their bar, the big teams. You know, Caps United didn't do so well as well. Only that they were fortunate enough they had to do it not before on the last day like Dynamos and Islanders. At least they got it maybe 2 games or 3 games before. They were safe. But I think this season is been something else, especially in the bottom.
That's
it was
right.
really, really scary in the bottom. Yeah.
It has never happened in Zimbabwe's football history. Never happened to get 8 teams on the very last day facing relegation. So that's history. History made, but for the wrong reasons. Right, we talked about Tandongwenya, the brilliant young man who was the spearhead of FC Platinum, but he got a transfer. He went to the South African scene, the Premiership, playing there for Amazulu. And it was, I think, a big downfall, one of the biggest contributors to the downfall of FC Platinum. And again, we don't know whether what we are just going to talk about now is going to be the downfall of pure Platinum play, FC Platinum. I hope not, because they are a terrific team, especially Kupasa Nambora. No team does it like that. And the men who brought that identity to FC Platinum, Muchina Wemajuzi, Norman Mapeza, unfortunately stepped down from his post as head coach. I asked him in the post-match interview after the game against Dynamos. He refused to say where he was going. He just said, I'm taking a break. We will see. So we've got something for you if you haven't watched it elsewhere. When Norman Mapeza was addressing his squad in the dressing room. And I must warn you, it's very, very tearful. You'll see some of the reactions coming from the players. As Muchina Wemajuzi said, you will not be knitting any more jerseys in Zhishavani for FC Platinum. Take a look.
Because I care. You know, I care. You need to be strong. I don't want to talk about it during the week because I was scared some of you might get affected. That's why I didn't want to say anything. But I could hear it. I'll tell you. So that's the news. Guys, thank you so much. The rest of you guys are only, save for Wallace, Namagar. I think those are the only remaining players. I had to tell more fun up. But you also, like I said, whoever's gonna come to this club, the respect I mind for you, give it to that person. Give it to that coach. Show him respect. Jatango Vuminaga has to change the times like the training. I don't change the coach on but they knew exactly what time we're supposed to be the pitch. Don't change. Don't change. Just have respect. They get a gentleman.
Right. As you see, the hugs are coming from the players, from the coaching staff. Muchina Wemajuzi won't be there anymore at FC Platinum. He brought an identity that will be hard to emulate. For 10 years, he turned things around. FC Platinum, bringing to them a unique brand of carpet football. And listen, like them or hate them, they're still the best passing team in Zimbabwe at the moment, Sparrow, as we take a look at those touching pictures.
I think those are touching pictures. An era coming to an end. Norman Mapeza having spent 10 and a half years at FC Platinum, and then he did a great job managing to win 3 league titles. I think Norman really left a good legacy at FC Platinum, and he's one coach who's a professional coach, brought the passing game to FC Platinum, very disciplinary, and they talked of discipline. All his players were disciplined, and him himself was a professional, managed to play abroad, and he just transformed that to the FC Platinum, and they lose a very good coach. And whoever gets Norman Mapeza is benefiting from a good coach. And I think for FC, he had saved this time.
Look at that. That's very tearful. I did warn you that if you are faint-hearted, don't look at this. Because this dressing room here depicting a very sad picture. But this is the man who turned things around at FC Platinum with that unique brand of passing football. And all I'd like to say, I'm sure you would like to say the same as well. Muchina Wemajuzi, we hope that you will still be knitting jerseys for us in Zimbabwe. Right, so that was it. We will be hearing more. Right, now we want to go away for a teeny weeny bit, right? When we come back, we'll be looking at the soccer stars of the year for 2025. Do you agree with what the selectors came with earlier in the week? Well, you will be able to join in as we talk about it. We are just going away for that teeny weeny bit. We'll be right back. Right, that AFCON group, you now know it in your head, that AFCON group that we will be in. It's Egypt, South Africa, and Angola, and us, 4 teams. And we hope that this time we can get through to the next stage. Right, The 11 soccer stars of the year were announced earlier in the week, and must say yesterday, yesterday, and Scotland, the league winners, having 2 players, 2 representatives, and of course Zimbabwean, who finished 3rd, having three representatives on that list, and some other teams having 1 player apiece. And well, if you if you don't know about it yet, if you don't know who the 11 soccer stars are, here they are. As you can see, the 3 players from Zimbabwe, 2 from Scotland, the league winners, and of course Emmanuel Jalai Kapopi from Dinamo Dimbari is one of the lone representatives. Andrew Mbeba, Highlanders, another lone representative. Chief Justice, I don't know, your thoughts on these 11. 3 from Zimbabwe, 2 from Scotland. And Moz also providing, Moz providing 2. Abubakar Moffat, the recent arrival who caused quite a sensation, and of course the man they call Mbappe, not on Billy Verem. Your thoughts on that list?
I think, Zimbabwe, the goalkeeper was fantastic for me. 16, 17 clean sheets for him throughout the season. It means a lot. He deserves to be there. But
I'm just butting in there, sorry, Chief Justice. He is actually the first foreign goalkeeper to be one of the soccer stars of the year finalists. If you didn't know, the first is from Malawi. It has never happened.
Yeah, I think, with the performances, he deserves to be there. I think for Zimbabwe, it could have been him. And also, missing out there, I think, on the list, I think from tier 1, Zumbun was good. He did very well. I would also have a good look on Macheka. He was not bad throughout the season.
Tawanda Macheka.
Yeah, he complimented Navaya very much. And also Bamala from Triangle. He missed out, but I think he was fantastic. He's a good player, and he played so well in so many games. And I don't know the criteria though used, but I think there are a lot of names missing there on the calendar. And you find the champions have got maybe 2 players. The champions, they have 2 players. I don't know what type of a criteria for choosing was used. And they are
so you're not happy. You're not happy
no,
with
I'm
this
not happy.
11.
I even saw Manenji was good. He played throughout the season. We covered a lot of games. We watched these players. We see the statistics on all. We also analyze, but I think it was not really fair enough. So many players are missing that they were out performers. Even at Mozi there could have been also Matthew Mrambio. He was good throughout the season. The captain Nyabunde, he was also good. Muchkambizi, the little midfielder, the short one.
But those who selected Chief Justice will say, we can't put everybody, we can only put 11 players.
No, you can't put everybody, but you have to put the rightful candidates. Yeah, that's the problem about the soccer stars of the year. I know it's a I don't know what word I can use, but these ones sometimes it's not fair enough. You find some players have been putting effort throughout the season, but right now they are not there on the calendar. I feel for it, even Bamara. Who doesn't know Bamara from Triangle?
The dreadlock player from Triangle United.
You see him, he plays every game week in, week out. Even if you see him week in, week out, you see his performances. They go. Dematsika was good. I don't think even Zwocha was, yes, he's a good player, but he played in the first half. For me, who's missing from Simba Bora could be Blessing more should be
Blessing,
there.
in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, I see the players, the way they contribute to the team, the discipline also, it also consists of it. They played very well throughout the season, but okay, fine. This calendar is missing a lot of things. Yeah.
Right, that's what Chief Justice, he was saying he doesn't know, he's not sure the criteria that is used. Well, if I knew it, if I was part of that selection, I would probably tell Chief Justice, but I don't. I haven't been invited now for some years by the sponsors and those from PSL, but I'm still invited to be one of those who sits on the FIFA Ballon d'Or. So I would tell you what criteria is used there, but I don't know what local criteria is used. So I can't tell you. Right. So Chief Justice is saying he's not completely happy about what happened there. And let's find out from Sparrow. Are you happy with those 11 as we see that list yet once again?
Well, first of all, let me just comment by saying the selection is never going to be easy, but it's always going. There's a lot of controversy, and there's a lot of you should have put this, you should have done this. But I think there's about 2 or 3 players I feel should have been on the calendar. I think also for Zimbabwe to have him finish 3rd and have 3 players, I'm not too happy about that. For me, I'm not happy about that. I mean, Scotland had the guys that carried the team. Manager played all the games for Scotland. He was outstanding. He's one guy who should have been an automatic on the calendar for this year. You ask me, he has a good season. Walter Msona carried Scotland in the first half before they even had the Kama. When Kama came in, it was Walter Msona who was carrying Scotland. When Zukamanja and Knowledge came in, that's when the team started having quite a number of players. But the whole first half, it was Walter Msona carrying the team. And I think most of the selectors, I could be wrong, I could be right, we are looking at the second half of the season. We tend to forget what happens in the first half. It's also equally important what happens in the first half. Because if you look at Walter Msona, for Scotland to have managed to keep the momentum, he carried the team. I mean, Dynamo's goalkeeper, in my view, I think besides him and Jalai, those were the 2 outstanding figures. Without those 2, Dynamos could have gone.
I'll button them just for a brief, sorry to button Sparrow. For me, the only thing I can say, I'm not going to say much because I told you I don't know the criteria. So I don't want to say much. But the only guy whom I think should have been there, if I was there, he would be the first name on my list, is Prince Tafire Mutsa, the Dynamo's goalkeeper. Because I'll tell you what, if he had not been in between the goalposts for Dimbare this season, Dimbare would have gone even before Kwekwe United. He kept them. Listen, this is my opinion. Sparrow.
And I also agree to that. I mean, he kept Dynamos in the game. He came up with some crucial saves. Yes, they were playing on they were way bottom on the relegation side, but he kept Dynamos in the season. Dynamos could have got relegated before Kwekwe United.
Oh yeah.
And I only have a problem with this selection of these awards, the Ballon d'Or. We tend to look at what has the team achieved. But these awards should look at the individual, what has the individual done in that season.
That's what we look at
Exactly.
for the Ballon d'Or.
So, yes, the team may have won something. That should come secondary. But let's look at the overall performance of the respective individual. So, for me, I would have loved to see Manenje. I would have loved to see Tafremitsa in there. I would have loved to see Walter Msona. I mean, the whole of first half, it was Walter Msona carrying Scotland. Of course, Tamil Machope will chip in there. And it's good to see that Tamil Machope also managed to retain his position, as well as Emmanuel Jalai managed to also retain his position from last year. And I think selection is always going to be difficult, but those 3 players I mentioned, personally for me, I think they should have been on the calendar.
Well, you've heard a lot. I don't know what you think. I don't know what you're saying. This competition started back in 1969. And I can tell you that the consistency is definitely failing from that era right up to now. You get players who just appear on the final list once and they are gone. And then maybe twice, I will tell you, there have been only 3 players who have been consistent. They've appeared on that final list for a staggering 9 consecutive seasons. 9. Only 3 players. Here they are, if you didn't know. The late mastermind George Shire, 9 times. The great Stanford Sticks Mutizwa, 9 times. And the great Naughty Flea Clement Matau, 9 times. And Chief Justice, I mean, that's saying something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a milestone. I think it says a lot. I think the names you said, you should be talking about.
Also,
The who's who of Zimbabwean football.
No, it's really big, and I think it's something. It's the consistency of a player. I also, I'm the same generation with the Matau. You could see, you could know at motor action there's a job to do. Yeah. There's someone who will make them tick. The rest you would deal with them, but with him it was something difficult. You could decide games also from motor action. You take it on his shoulders, on his own, and you find it was not happening only one game. It was happening often, consistently, throughout the season. Yeah, sure, And for now, I think it's difficult because I've also seen players makes a lot of movement. You find this season is here. Next half a season he's playing for another club. It takes him 7 games to get into the team. Season is over. Next thing is with another club. They vanish. Personally, I've seen players going. We also lost some good talent. If I tell you, we spoke about Tino Tendameke. Where is he now? The boy. He just moved from Greenfuel to Ngezi, Simbabora back to Greenfuel. Yeah. Now the talent is gone.
That's right.
So you find the potential in players is not coming out. It's not. But we look at the records you're giving. Most people didn't know about that. But if you now start reflecting, you see it's because these people have been in one place developing themselves. Each year they're going. Because of the nature of the football, you just need to improve in almost every game you play. But if you find it, you don't have consistency, it's difficult. Then it comes to these soccer stars, you find that they are there, but not on consistent basis. Most of them are there, not on consistent basis. We spoke about Tafire Musa. You look at the games he was in goals, consistent. Look at Jalai, the way he did. Look at Kevin Moyo. Also, if you look at the William Todd, you did very well for Zimbabwe. Consistency, the performance, week in, week out, that determines the player. That determines where they are standing, and especially when it comes to the calendar.
And you're talking Chief Justice. I want to tend to Sparrow. Who says, like I told you, I don't know the criteria. Maybe they say they are told you can only have one goalkeeper. There was a year when we had 3 goalkeepers. We had Gift Umbro Muzadzi. We had Chenjerai Dube. We had Tapua Kapini back in 1992. I was one of the selectors. We had 3 goals. Because what we were saying was, you're not choosing a team. You're just choosing the 11 best players. I don't know what they look at now. You're just looking at the 11 best players. So, Sparrow, 1 goalkeeper, William Tole. We had Prince Tafire Mutsa. We had Martin Mapeza. We had a great season for most. We had a very interesting young goalkeeper called Darlington Morasiranwa at Ngezi Platinum. And that's just 1 goalkeeper. Who says it should only be 1 keeper for the soccer stars?
I think for this year, at least the minimum 2 goalkeepers would have done. For me, I think Prince would have made that cut. Unfortunately, like you're saying, maybe they chose the team instead of choosing the best 11. And I think
exactly
we should have.
Should you choose a team?
We shouldn't choose a team. We should choose the best 11 for that season. And also 1 player that I also forgot that could have made the cut was Caps United Kundai Benyu. I think he carried Caps United. He scored some crucial goals. Yes, he picked up a couple of injuries here and there, but he's 1 player. With a bit of luck, he could have been also amongst the 11. For the first time, I think, in a while, Caps not having a player on the calendar. You would know CNN, Caps always provided quality players and the players on the calendar. This year, Caps won't have anyone on the calendar.
That's right. Soccer stars as well. And talking of consistency, I talked about George Shire, Stanford Mutizwa, and Clement Matau appearing 9 times. Caps United also had the great headmaster, Joel Jubilee Shambo, 5 appearances on the Soccer Stars calendar. And in 1985, he was just pipped to the Soccer Star of the Year award, the top award, by his great friend, the late Stanley Sinyo Ndunduma, who again consistent appearance on the calendar 6 times. And I'm going to stick with consistency because we're going to have, again, put it up for you, the Soccer Stars of the Year for this season, 2025, and that one for last season, 2024. Just look at how many players have managed to retain their places on the 2025 list. Just have a look. 2024 and there 2025. Can you count how many? Just count for yourselves there. How many can you count? Just 1, 2, 3. Only 3. As you can check there, there's only Emmanuel Jalai, Kapopi, Ishe, Mauchi, and then Timon Machope. Those are the only 3 who have managed to retain their places, managed to retain their form. Chief Justice, this is top flight football in Zimbabwe, and we don't accept this.
Yeah.
What's happened to the other 8?
Yeah, it's difficult, and you find all of them, they are still active. None of them is retired. They are still active. Yeah, yeah. But it's only 3 the 2 from the last season to this season they made it.
Yep.
But it's quite difficult, and you find I don't know. It's difficult. I don't know if the standard is gone that down, whereby we can't even have a team that can have a consistent, throughout the year. You have to keep the same
You yourself
player.
were consistent, eh?
Yeah,
appearing on the calendar.
Yeah, I went 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times,
Yeah.
Very consistent.
and-
Chief
and-
Justice was.
And I was always the second.
Yeah, he was very unlucky. Chief Justice always number 2. But very consistent. This is what we're talking about. What is happening to consistency?
Yeah, I don't know. It's what is affecting. Also, it's a big job to do for coaches. They need to continue be encouraging these players. To be consistent. And also, I want the players to learn something from themselves. The career is theirs. They need to work hard for themselves, not somebody to work. They wait to be written so that they are good players. I want players who can come and showcase on themselves, play on your game, train to the maximum as you can, as much as you can. Stay away from many things, from distractions, because you find most of these players, like I said, Sparrow, all of them, they are still active.
They are,
They
yeah.
are still active.
They
But
are
look at the
active.
performances. It's just maybe a year ago, but they can't make it. You find some of them. If you see them here, you can't even notice these are the players who've been on calendar. It's not about how you do it, but it's how you show it on the pitch. You just need to continue working extra hard. It gives you something different and edge. And I think you spoke about the Coma Sticks,
Yep.
the late
Late mastermind George Shire.
and the Clemens
9
Mata.
times.
Yeah, even if you hear when people are talking about them, you hear good stories about them in terms of showing up on the field. It's very important. This is one thing I have seen also in this game, in our league, that it lacks. You find players, you find them, you see him this week, next week is a different player. Yeah, especially some of them, they have got a tendency of just wanting to play at home.
Yeah.
When they are playing at their home, they are superb. Find him, go and play even against a small club, go and play against Kwekwe. They don't want to play. It's the attitude, I think, which is wrong. And they also, the ones who are watching, they have to improve in that area. They need to be consistently working hard. Whatever you do in training is what you imply on the match day. That brings you to where we are now. And if you look at the way how Jalai, that's why he's back there. You look at the way he works. You look at how even Mauchi, he's also a hard worker.
Very hard working.
Very good. He's hard working.
Very
It
hard
shows
working.
the difference. And also the humbleness of these boys. It gives them. We've got also Machope.
Yeah, just once again, if you look at it, yes, all you lovely people out there, only 3 players have retained their places from 2024. Only 3, eh? That's Jalai, Mauchi, and Machope. And we don't know who's going to. Could the Soccer Star of the Year come from one of those 3? Could it be the winner and the two runners-up? I don't know. The Dynamo supporters will tell you it must be Kapopi. They are going stuck raving mad. They are saying it's got to be July. Well, I don't know. We will have to wait and find out. Yes, it is the winner and his two runners-up were chosen as well yesterday, but it's going to be kept a secret until the banquet. But I don't know. Who do you think it should be? Well, I don't know. And Sparrow, this I just want to keep at this consistency bit. Is it that what is it? Is it the coaching? Is it the standard? What is it on
I
the
think
consistency?
when you talk of consistency, it also comes up with the individual player themselves. What is it that they want to achieve? For some player going on the calendar to be an achievement, then the next year they are relaxing. So I think it's about what the player wants to achieve more than anything else.
That's right. Well, we will be letting you know what will be happening. Let's just hope that the consistency does improve. And well, we've just learned that the November Coach of the Month, Tonderai Stanza Ndiraya, the winning coach, the man who's the only one to win 2 league titles with 2 different clubs in succession, has stepped down as head coach of Scotland Football Club, Mapeza. And we don't know where Stanza will be headed, but to Stanza we say, we know wherever you are headed, you're going to shine yet once again, because Stanza the best last year, Stanza the best in 2025. We'll be talking more about that. It just leaves me to thank our 2 experts from ZBC TV Sports Fest. That's Sparrow. Thanks so much. Sparrow, it's always good when you're around. Hope to see you again soon.
Always a pleasure, legendary, and thanks for having me.
And Chief Justice, of course, Dina Motimbare doing it, but it's always a pleasure having you around.
With a big smile, you know.
That's right.
Thank you, legendary.
Okay, right. And thanks to you, because you make this show what it is. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing here on ZBC TV from everyone in the ZBC TV Sports crew, fronted by our producers, Bevan Shinrai, Stuart Shoriwa, Tinashe Manyoni, and Gina Gwanzura. Yes, we say, remember to take care of your loved ones and each other. I'm Charles, legendary CNN Mabika. Until we meet again, it's bye-bye for now.